I said, guess who's back? Man, guess who's back? I said, guess who's back? Well. That was a way better fight than anybody expected. The chickens came home to roost for Tyson Fury, making a deal with Usyk before the fight. He himself said that he never likes to do that usually because you have to concentrate on the man in front of you. And he really should have concentrated on the man in front of him, because the man in front of him was the mammoth UFC champion, Francis Nganou, 6'4", built like a front door, a man who has demolished everybody in the UFC. He really wasn't to be taken lightly at all. I never expected such a performance. I don't think there's anyone who could honestly say they expected something like that. And I'm so happy that Francis Nganou put up such a fight now, because this is throwing a massive spanner in the works. Like I said, Tyson Fury's team prior to the fight was making negotiations with Usyk and completely overlooking Ngannou because he'd never been in a boxing ring before, and we just seen what happened. It went the distance with a split decision win. It would have been great actually if there was just 2 more rounds. I think Ngannou could have done 12 rounds. I would have loved to see a 12-round fight, but because Ngannou is a beginner and has never fought in a boxing ring before, they did 10 rounds. And yeah, I mean, Ngannou said it all after the fight. He said, I was confident, but I wasn't sure how good I was, and now I know I can do this shit, he said. And he can. I would like to see Ngannou now transition into a full boxing career, fighting all the best. Deontay Wilder, a rematch with Tyson Fury. I mean, I'll tell you the thing that was quite telling was at the end of the fight, Tyson Fury and Frank Warren were talking about the Usyk fight, and we're doing this for the fans. We're trying to make this fight. This is the biggest fight in British boxing, in the world boxing. This is what Frank Warren was saying. And they were all acting like they're trying to get this fight on now. It's too late. Didn't you hear how quiet the crowd was? Trying to make this Usyk fight, and this Usyk fight is next. And this is what the fans have been crying for and stuff like that. I mean, Tyson Fury got embarrassed, to be honest. I'm not saying that it's over, but look what's just happened. They're trying to brush it under the carpet. Look what has just happened. Tyson Fury's face was more bruised up than I've ever seen his face. He got knocked down. I think it was a check left hook in, I think it was the 3rd round or the 4th round. I'm not sure. After that, there was another flurry of shots which really damaged Fury. I can't remember which round that was in. Yes, I would have to give the fight to Fury because he just landed more punches. Ngannou's only mistake was that he wasn't blocking those little jabs, and they were adding up. Ngannou obviously did get a little bit tired, but he had like amazing composure. He managed his energy. He took certain parts of the round off, and then he came back strong. He did everything that I would have wanted him to do. I wanted him to fight in spurts. Just keeping his hands up, fighting in spurts, landing some good shots in between those in between those spurts. Not really following Tyson Fury around, making it awkward. He did all of that. He was harder to hit than Tyson Fury thought. He took Tyson Fury's punches, and Tyson was really loading up on some of those punches. It does help to be a big man. It's the truth. Ngannou is a big, strong guy. One thing I noticed was when Tyson Fury got dropped and he came back strong in the next round trying to put it on Ngannou, he started doing everything, throwing hard shots, and then on the inside he tried to use his weight, and it didn't work. This is the difference between a big, strong guy who's got fast hand, who can punch, and a skinny, or let's say slim, I don't want to be disrespectful, a slim, powerful guy in Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's got a fast right hand, but if you put that weight on him, he's going to feel it. He's only a slim guy, really. He could fight at cruiserweight, and that showed. But when Tyson Fury tried to use his weight advantage on Ngannou on the inside, it didn't work. It didn't work at all. It didn't sap Ngannou's energy one bit. What made Ngannou tired was probably throwing those hard shots and being a little bit too muscular. Other than that, he was fast. He had fast hands. I said to everyone that he was going to be dangerous. When I saw him in the workout and people said, oh, he doesn't look good, I was like, well, he's got fast hands. That's one thing I noticed. He has got speed. But I just wondered how long that would last. I thought he would be explosive for the first 2 rounds and then maybe, he would just get destroyed after that, because that's what happens to, muscular guys. We all know muscle takes a lot of energy. I thought he was going to gas early. He did very well. Really composed. He landed some good shots. He came when he did come in and land shots, he landed some combinations. That check hook, which dropped Fury was trying to play it off in the post-fight interview, saying, oh, it kind of landed behind the head. It didn't land behind the head. It was behind the head, but it was like behind the ear. But it was a legal shot. So him kind of saying it was behind the head, he was kind of trying to insinuate that it was an illegal shot without saying it. It wasn't an illegal shot. It was a perfectly placed shot, and Fury went down. And there was another part in the round where he got hit with some really hard combinations, and he went back to his corner, and he literally looked quite shaken up, So Fury did well though. I mean, on Fury's side, he turned it up. He turned up the intensity. He turned up the output. He won on output alone, to be honest. But that split decision was not really a win for him, because he's already fighting a guy who everyone said had no chance, never been in a boxing ring before. He went tooth for nail with this guy. A split decision, and the split decision win in this fight was closer than the first fight he had with Deontay Wilder. That was a draw. So, to be honest, when they were talking about we're trying to make this Usyk fight and we know that this is what everyone wants, everyone was quiet, because most people was thinking actually, we want to see a rematch. I want to see a rematch. Yes, I want to see the fight with Usyk, but now everyone believes that Usyk will probably beat Tyson Fury. Obviously, that's a conclusion that we shouldn't jump to. There is a big difference between, the proportions of Usyk and Ngannou. It could just be the fact that Ngannou is a big, strong guy, but you heard it from the horse's mouth. Tyson Fury said, when they asked him what gave you such problems, he said he's more skilled than I thought. He's a better boxer than I thought. He had good composure. It wasn't the fact that it was just the power. It was harder to hit than he thought. And I actually saw this in Ngannou. He had quite good reflexes, and like I said, good hand speed. If you've got good reflexes, good hand speed, you're a big, strong guy, you've got a chance. This is the reason why I never thought that someone like Joe Joyce could ever beat Tyson Fury. Even when people were saying, Joe Joyce, I never saw that in Joe Joyce because of the slow hand speed. I knew that slow, plodding kind of style that Joe Joyce has wouldn't challenge someone like Fury. He could only be a challenge to men that were smaller than him, but someone like Tyson Fury, who's bigger than him, he can't really use his weight advantage, and then the slow hands and the slow reactions just leads to him getting put to sleep, which is what happened when Zhang put him to sleep. But anyone with decent hand speed and who's the same size as Joe Joyce would handle him easily. Francis Nganou is a different kind of animal. I mean, first of all, he could take Tyson Fury's shots. He took quite a few flush shots from Tyson Fury. He didn't go nowhere. But when Ngannou landed shots, Tyson Fury visibly looked shaken. So, that's really saying something. Now, on Tyson Fury's side, on his defense, he said he was out of the ring for a little while. We heard the excuses coming. Tyson Fury never makes excuses, but when it's a tough fight like this, tougher than he thought, the excuses had to start flowing. Yes, he was a bit rusty, but one time I heard Tyson Fury say that ring rust is all in the mind and he doesn't suffer from it. But now, suddenly he suffers from ring rust. I heard him in an interview say he could drink 25 pints of beer and beat Tyson Fury. I don't think he still thinks that. I would have loved to ask the crowd, what they want now, what would they like to see, because I think a few people would have liked to see a rematch. I think a lot of people want to see a rematch. I don't think people want to see him fight Usyk and then retire because, you know, I don't even know. I don't even know what to think now. Is the fight between Tyson Fury and Usyk still a big fight after we've seen this? I'm not sure. This wasn't in the script. It wasn't meant to happen. Congratulations to Tyson Fury for the win, but you know, I really feel like Ngannou has a moral victory because no one gave him a chance. He came in and he performed, you know, out of his skin, and he looked great. He looked as if he can make the transition to boxing, you know, like he's been boxing all his life. A few adjustments that Ngannou could make, and he will be a threat to everybody. He needs to get fitter, not like more like endurance. He needs a strength and conditioning coach. Obviously, he needs a lot more strength and conditioning so that he can kind of not be so muscular, but start to actually get some strength into these muscles. You know, because at the moment his muscles will fatigue because he's a bit too bulky, and he doesn't really need to be like this to be a good boxer. So I would like to see strength and conditioning being more emphasized in his camp. But he's got time for all that. You know, I know he's 36 now, but you know, he's just transitioned to boxing. I think he's got a bit of time for that. Get into some strength and conditioning, you know, build some more stamina, some more experience, more rounds, you know, sparring. One thing I like is I think Mike Tyson did a fantastic job, because Mike Tyson has built his whole career on beating bigger guys. He knows how to slip at the last moment, make himself a small target. He's really good at shifting, and he teaches you how to do that shifting to the side, landing certain punches, and there were certain influences of Mike Tyson which really worked on Tyson. But yeah, great performance by Ngannou. Ngannou obviously has to work on his stamina so that it can prepare him for a 12-round fight. And yeah, I think he can beat anyone, you know. Few adjustments and he can really beat anyone. Tyson Fury gave a good performance. You know, he should have just stuck to his boxing. When he did stick to his boxing, you know, he was much better. Ngannou needed to start to block that jab better, which he started to do when his corner told him to. That's an adjustment he could make. He stayed quite stationary for long parts of the fight, and maybe that's another adjustment he could make, because you know, a stationary target is not going to work against people who are slick boxers like Tyson Fury and Usyk. But against a lot of the other guys, I see Ngannou beating them quite easily. Ngannou definitely did himself proud. The majority of people are going to see Ngannou as a winner and Tyson Fury kind of as a loser, because even before this fight it was kind of a lose-lose. You know, if he had a close fight with Ngannou, like what happened, then he's lost. You know, I think he even said, if I don't knock him out or stop him or embarrass him, then I've lost. I think he even said that at some point. Well, you know, that's exactly what it looks like. The interest in Tyson Fury and Usyk, I wouldn't say it's disappeared. Definitely people are still interested, but I think it's waning a little bit after what we saw. There are massive question marks over Tyson Fury now. We know he can be hurt. You know, he hit Ngannou with some flush shots. Ngannou didn't go nowhere, so now his power is in question. You know, a lot of things in question. How good is Tyson Fury really? Let me know what you think. It was a great fight. For anyone who hasn't seen it yet, obviously it went the distance with Tyson Fury being dropped, and dropped in the 3rd round or the 4th round, and then being really badly hurt later on as well. It was a split decision. I think I would have had it a split decision as well. Could it have gone either way? I think Tyson Fury did edge it out, if I'm being honest, but just on heart alone, I'd give it to Ngannou, to be honest. But let me know what you think anyway. It was a great fight. Let's even just quickly talk about the whole card real quick. Couple of good performances. Parker got the knockout against Simon Keane, I believe his name is. Nice knockout against a nobody, to be honest, but a good fight to kind of get himself back after the embarrassing stoppage loss to Joe Joyce. David Adelaide got some karma for his overconfident attitude, shall we say. He showed a lot of arrogance in the build-up, I think, and he got dealt with accordingly, to be honest. Stopped, knocked out, but he handled it like a true fighter in the end, and he gave Wardley his props. Wardley fought really well. I like that pressure that he's got, which is what I thought would be the problem for Adelaide, because Adelaide throws single shots, and Wardley keeps that pressure, keeps a jab, follows up with a lot of combinations, and that was always going to be someone who's just throwing single shots and waiting to counter all the time, and that's what happened. To be honest, David Adelaide was getting outclassed, but his knockout came because he was being too lazy in the clinch, and sometimes he would be lazy and he wouldn't protect himself, and Wardley would land a hook, and he did that multiple times. And then the time that Adelaide was lazy again, Wardley landed a hook which knocked him out this time. Carlos Takam got demolished by Bakole, to be honest. Started off slow, Bakole not even moving that much. He just took centre ring. He looked huge in there, and he just demolished Takam in the end. Takam tried his best, but Takam looked definitely undersized against Bakole. He must have been 21, 22 stone or something in there, I don't even know. But the size really worked for him. The power definitely showed up for Bakole, and it was a knockout. Well, it was a TKO win for Bakole. Bakole's got a lot of talent. I'd like to see Bakole go on and challenge some of these bigger guys, to be honest. I think even I'd give Tyson Fury a good fight, to be honest, from what we've seen today. So I'd like to see Bakole actually go forward and do well. Also, Moses Atuma, the hard-hitting prospect, he was on full display. He got first round stoppage against some other guy who was no good. I can't remember his name, but yeah, it was a good performance by Atuma, to be honest. And it was a good card. So we saw knockouts, we saw upsets, almost upsets. You know, we saw a lot of good performances. Atuma, Wardley, Bakole, Parker, they all had great performances. And obviously, Francis Nganou had probably the best performance of them all. So yeah, definitely interested to see those fighters, what they're going to do. I'm definitely interested in seeing Nganou in boxing. He now needs to push to become a professional boxer and you know, do some damage at heavyweight, because I think he's the real deal. Let me know what you think. Man, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more of a similar nature.